The market was always alive before the sun rose. Women shouted over heaps of beans, rice, gari, and pepper, each struggling to sell before the day grew old. And in one corner of that noisy chaos stood Mama Favor. Her wrapper faded, but her spirit burning strong. She was known for her strength, the woman who never gave up, no matter how hard life slapped her. Her small stall was where she made her world work. With her bare hands, she measured hope into small cups of rice and beans. She had 2 children, Favor, her first, and David, her youngest. Her husband had disappeared when David was barely 2, leaving behind debt and memories. But Mama Favor never complained. Every morning she tied her scarf tighter, whispered a prayer under her breath, and said the same words that kept her heart alive. "One day my daughter will finish school, and I'll rest." When the admission letter finally came, it was like heaven had opened its gates. Favor had gotten into the university, the first in her family. Tears rolled down her mother's face as she held the paper. That letter wasn't just paper. It was her sweat, her struggle, her sleepless nights. On the morning of departure, the air smelled of beans and fresh tears. Mama Favor hugged her daughter tightly at the bus park, her voice trembling as she said, "Remember why you're there, my child. Don't let the world change you. Let God guide you." Favor smiled through her tears, promising to make her proud. The bus engine roared, and as it pulled away, Mama Favor waved until the dust swallowed it. University life welcomed Favor like a carnival. Laughter, new faces, freedom, bright colors, loud music, a whole new world. Her hostel room was shared with 3 girls, Titi, a final-year law student, Bimpe, a bold girl with attitude and expensive wigs, and Anita, a 200-level fashion student who always smelled of perfume and gossip. They were kind to her at first, showing her where to buy food, how to register courses, how to slay small so people wouldn't call her JJC. Favor admired them. They had money, phones, and confidence, things she never had. But she didn't know that admiration would one day lead her to the gates of death. The first month passed fast. Then came the hostel, freshers' welcome party. Music blasted through the night as girls danced in short skirts and boys sprayed money. Favor was shy, but Anita dragged her along. "My roommate says big boys will be there, even medicine students," Anita whispered excitedly. The word medicine students carried a kind of respect on campus, and everyone knew they were the kings of campus, intelligent, rich, untouchable. That night, Favor saw what she had never seen before. People faking smiles, loud laughter, and temptation dressed in gold chains. One of the girls mentioned that a medicine student named Lex was celebrating his own birthday soon. He was rich, handsome, and always surrounded by fine cars and expensive perfume. They said he was the one who threw exclusive parties, a world only the 1% of the 1% could enter. Lex posted on his status, "The next party is not for everybody, strictly 12 invites. The real ones know what I mean." The girls screamed. Anita said her boyfriend had a friend in Lex's circle, and maybe, just maybe, he could get them in. By the next week, the invites arrived, sleek black cards with a red wax seal that read, "Private Mansion Party, 12 queens only." On the night of the event, the hostel compound was buzzing. The 12 invited girls, Favor, her 3 roommates, and others, gathered by the gate where a sleek black bus waited. They were dressed in glitter, perfume, and excitement. To them, it was the night of their lives. To the boys, it was the night of blood. The drive was long, longer than expected. Some girls began to whisper, "Is this still town? Where are we even going?" But the music was loud, the drinks were cold, and their laughter drowned their fear. Until they stopped. The mansion loomed ahead, dark, tall, surrounded by trees. The kind of place that looked rich but carried silence that could choke a soul. Inside, everything sparkled. Gold lights, red curtains, expensive drinks. The boys welcomed them with charm and laughter. "Tonight," Lex said with a wicked grin, "we celebrate life and new beginnings." They cheered, they drank, they danced, but not Favor. Something in her spirit was restless. She held her cup, pretending to sip, but she never swallowed. One too long, something strange began to happen. One by one, the girls began to feel dizzy. Their laughter turned to murmurs. Their legs grew weak. They fell, slowly, helplessly, into silence. Favor's heart pounded. She quickly lay down beside them, pretending to sleep. Through half-open eyes, she saw the boys dragging the girls, one by one, through red doors. And that was when she saw it. A room covered in red cloth, candles burning, strange marks on the floor. The air was heavy with chants and whispers. Lex's voice echoed, deep and trembling. "Tonight, 12 for the gods, 12 for protection, 12 for wealth." But in another room, one of his boys, eager and excited, messed up the ritual. In his desperation, he struck before the incantation was complete. Blood splattered where words were meant to be spoken. The girl screamed once, and then there was silence. The boy froze, and he was confused. From nowhere, he started laughing, then crying, then laughing again. He tore off his shirt and ran out of the room, banging on others, shouting, "They're coming! They're here! She's dead! She's dead!" The others rushed out, panicking. "Are you mad? What did you do?" "You've spoiled everything." In their chaos, Favor saw her chance to escape. She crawled out quietly, her legs shaking and her heart on fire. When she reached the back door, she ran, through the trees, through the darkness, barefoot, breathless, crying. She ran until she saw lights, a small group of police officers near a checkpoint. She screamed for help, her voice hoarse, telling them everything between sobs. Within minutes, a search team was dispatched. They found the mansion, quiet now, eerie, with the smell of death hanging in the air. 11 girls were rescued, drugged, weak, but alive. One was gone, Favor's roommate. Her body lay cold on the ritual mat. The boys had escaped into the night except one, the mad one, found hours later on the expressway, running naked, shouting, "She's watching me!" And in that moment, a truck hit him and he died on the spot. Days later, the others were caught, one by one, their names on every news headline. The university shut down for investigation. And in the hostel, silence filled the rooms where laughter once lived. When Favor returned, she wasn't the same girl anymore. Her eyes carried things she could never unsee. Her mother held her, crying, thanking God for saving her life. But Favor couldn't stop thinking about her roommate, the one who never made it back. That night, she sat outside her hostel window, watching the moon, and whispered softly, "If not for God, I would have been one of them."